I'm Daemonxel, and it's time for your Eve Echoes weekly news update. We'll be diving into all the happenings of the week, but first, if you can tag that subscribe button and ring that bell, then you can stay up to date with everything that this channel has to offer. Okay, so there's one clarification this week from last week's episode, and that is of the Nightmare kill where I stated that it was Yeet. It was in fact actually FRA, the French Alliance. Maintenance this week was brief, and servers were back up and running fast as no new patches were introduced. Players who start on day 1 with 3 cog chips, the catch-up mechanic, and Omega combo hit tech level 9 this week, opening up a new array of ships to fly throughout New Eden. This new tech level opens up battleships for those who cannot afford the faction ones to clear out missions faster and bigger PvP combat. This also gives up the second variant of attack battlecruisers, which offers another high slot to maximize DPS. Interdictor pilots can now jump into the second destroyer variant, as well as making them on par to the faction Tech 5 versions with high slot range and damage bonuses. Industrial pilots, if there are any left after the insurance program, sorry, I just couldn't help myself there, they introduced the humpback for hauling and the procurer for chewing up even more rocks. We also see a new line in logistics with the battlecruiser variants and the battlecruiser guardians. Covert op pilots, they give you that Tech 9 variant of these cruisers now with minus 50% to your lock delay. Due to mass community unrest about the insurance program, Joseph issued an announcement stating that the goal of the program was to help reduce the pain of losing a ship. He goes on to state that they aim to improve the program, so if you were hoping that it was going to disappear, you better get used to it and better hope that the improvements suggested will help out overall in the game. The potential options for helping out with the program were increasing the accuracy and rate that the estimating mechanism updates the market data, increasing the rate of the buy orders that the system generates, and lastly, to find a way to encourage trade within corporations to better help players. They went ahead and raised that player cap in JITA in anticipation of the protest, which we're going to cover later on in the community news section. My take on this insurance program versus SRP is if you're running an SRP program, then still run it. And this way, the players that lose their ships on ops won't have to use their Plex or their insurance points. I know the argument on the entire economy and how the little ripple can turn into a wave, as we see mineral prices fall and general industry lagging behind. Another option is if you're forward deployed in enemy territory, you can SRP those losses by Liquid ISK. The Alliance or Corp pays the player under the SRP program ISK to buy the Plex to ensure the ship they just lost. And yes, I know this doesn't help the indie team at all, but currently I don't have any other ideas. We have our Sovereignty map update this week. These maps are provided by Exekiel of Trimark, and a link to his GitHub can be found in the description below, as these maps are updated daily. We had a lot of Sov changes this week, which shows 17 gains and 3 losses. Now, on one side, you can see the corporations that put up the citadels, and on the other side, you can see the coalitions they belong to. And for the gain and loss talking points, we're actually just going to focus on the coalition or alliance side. ACR gains 4 Sov systems. The Quasar Coalition, formerly the Aquarius Coalition, has gained 3 systems. Providence Coalition has gained 2 systems, and the Silent Federation gained 2 systems. Pantheon, while gaining 3 systems, has also lost 2 systems. And Win by Virtue, Fireflies, has lost 1 system. But as we can see, the map is filling in nicely with each new week. It's now time for your Echoes Market Report. This week we've seen a steady climb in Plex as prices move upwards towards 1.1 million Plex per. Faction Recs have taken a hit since the insurance program, dropping by 10 to 20% overall. Minerals have also taken a hit, dropping overall. Pyrite has seen to drop from 27 ISK each to 16 ISK each. With Tech 9 hitting, we now have new ships on the market as well. The Tech 9 interdictors are selling for around 200 million each. The Tech 9 covert ops cruisers between 400 and 500 million. the attack battlecruisers between 600 and 750 million, your logistics battlecruisers 700 million plus, your Guardian battlecruisers 550 to 700 million, the Humpback High Mobility hitting the market at 550 to 600 million, the Procurer at 180 to 200 million, and the Tech 9 battleships start at 750 million and climb to just over 1 billion. The fighting continues as the Southern Veil Coalition attacks Triple V and Firefly stations within the Veil of the Silent. Taking advantage of the split in Triple V, 3 outposts were destroyed, as well as 1 Firefly outpost, as the SVC is pushing them out of the region. I am told that the 3 outposts were not even defended, and the last one only had a token defense fleet of 20, which remained on the gate. Just so people don't get confused, I know there are a lot of coalitions out there, the SVC as well as the Southern Coalition. The SVC, the Southern Veil Coalition, is not the Southern Coalition. The SVC is made up of Lunar 4, Violent by Design, and Methane Industrial. The SVC and the Silent Federation teamed up to bring down a Firefly's Sov station. This battle happened in 3 Tech QYVE in Tenal on the 13th, with a local number rising to 400 plus. The station was heavily defended by Fireflies, but was in the end overwhelmed by the attacking force, ending in a brilliant explosion and the loss of a Sov system to the tune of 26.8 billion. This battle was a part of the campaign to push Fireflies out of Tenal. Open war has yet to be declared, but if you are an avid Reddit user, you know that there is no love lost between the Silent Federation and Fireflies. We'll keep our eye out to see if there's any more battles that come to pass within the following weeks. A large fight in Fountain this week ended up in a Pantheon Sov station being lost. H-Tech NPXW in Fountain was the scene of a fight between the Golden Horde and Void versus Genesis Federation and Pantheon. Locals spiked to 400 plus during the height of the fight. However, the Golden Horde and Void would eventually get the upper hand by defeating the defense fleet and gain the grid to freely kill the station, valued at 26 billion. This would be the second Pantheon loss this week, and as ever, Sun Banana was unavailable for a comment. I've never even talked to this guy, not even since the beginning of the game, so just bet on any future stories involving Pantheon to be without his comment. If any Pantheon diplomat would like to make themselves available for statements, just DM me on Discord. We had the Burn Jita event this weekend, starting on Friday and lasted throughout the weekend until Monday. During the event, the organizer Triumph was true to his word and sacrificed his 14.7 billion Nightmare to kick off the event. I do not have any stats on how many ships were lost during these 4 days, but rest assured, the community that joined did have their voices heard. Time will only tell how the insurance program will adapt to revitalize the industrial side of the game, though. As a follow-up story with Alan and the Kickstarter that his alliance started for him to get that tablet to make playing Echoes easier, the funds were presented to him this week during a Discord voice chat. A few of us were there during this presentation. I would like to play the recording of that meeting for everyone as a heartwarming conclusion to the story.
So Alan, you might be wondering what's going on. I've prepared a few words. We have, a bunch of members from QC and EA, Daemonxel, Rambo, a lot of people that support you and love you. So I just want to tell you that, we're all here today because of our love for a very special player. Since I've gotten to know you, Alan, over the last month, I've learned a lot of things about you. You're loyal, kind, honest, very dedicated man that cares about his friends and wants to contribute to QC in any way he can. And, you're even flying PvP ships now to help protect and support your friends and allies. Over time, I've gotten to know that you have disabilities that prevent you from being able to walk or move many parts of your body, have feeling in your hands, or even be able to leave the house to make friends. And that, also very cool, you also used to be a captain of one of the Alaskan king crab fishing vessels and were heard on the first season of Deadliest Catch. So, you just did 2 interviews, one with Rambo, who's here, his Echoes of New Eden podcast, one with Daemonxel, his Echoes from the Front YouTube weekly news coverage video. And, I was inspired because you did that, because you wanted to encourage others with disabilities to get out, play the game, and overcome their challenges. So, needless to say, it's been a pleasure getting to know you. I look forward to more, and you're an awesome dude. So, obviously you joined this game with the support and love of your girlfriend. to make people and make friends, and I'm really glad that you found your way into the Quasar Coalition, because we're a strong family here, and we're very happy to have you. When you shared the picture with me of you playing Eve Echoes on your smartphone propped up on your table, it looked like it was very difficult. It looked like you had to strain your neck to see everything, and that it was hard for you to hit the small buttons on such a tiny phone that was so many feet away from your actual face. So look, we're here today because we want to say thank you for everything that you do, and thank you for being an inspiration to us as well. So everyone here, and actually 20 people, chipped into a GoFundMe, and we were able to raise $860 to buy you a tablet and a stand so that you can play Eve Echoes with us without having to put strain on your hands and neck. So I know I speak for everyone here when I say that we love having you with us, and thank you, and we're so excited to have this opportunity to be able to do this for you. And just thank you, Alan, and I think a sincere thank you to everyone else who's here, who donated and showed up and gave their support in other ways. So thank you, Alan. I know Rambo wants to say a few words, so I'll let him. Go ahead, Rambo.
So on February 6th, Insidious had reached me regarding a special member in his corp, and he was telling me a little bit about the history of this player and how he tries his best to play the game, this player being Alan. Insidious told me that Alan would like to do interviews to share how this game can be accessible to players with disabilities, and he hopes to reach those players to give the game we love a try. I immediately was interested in getting Alan on my show to do an exclusive one-on-one interview. With just a couple hours later, I got into contact with Alan and had that interview with him. For those that may not have heard that interview, it was released on my February 8th podcast. So talking with Alan before the interview, during, and even after the interview, I've gotten to know him pretty well, enough to call him a friend. He shared with me what he likes to do in the game, how he plays it, and so on. During that interview, he had mentioned about not having a laptop capable to run the game, so this gave me an idea. So the next day after the episode released, I told Insidious of an idea that I had, an idea which he also thought of. This idea was to start a fundraiser for Alan to get a tablet to play the game on, for all the benefits the tablet would have, one being a much larger screen for him to see. Insidious then started a GoFundMe fundraiser that same day, and we shared it everywhere we could. In this time, we raised $860. This came from Corp members, QC Alliance members, fans of my show, fans of Daemonxel's show, as well as other players in New Eden. I hope this serves you well, Alan. I want to see a picture of you in your setup. Thanks to everyone that has shown their support for their fellow member, and thank you for allowing me to speak for a friend.
So Alan, thank you. I don't know if anyone else wanted to say anything.
Is it okay if I say a few words?
Of course, Daemonxel, go ahead.
Alan, hello. Insidious actually first brought this information to me, I think, before Rambo's show, and it was during the whole craziness of what was going on in my real life with the with my new son and everything. So I wasn't able to get back right in time, but I definitely wanted to add this, because whenever we can shine a good light on anything good that happens in the community, I think it should be elevated, and it should be one of the top things we focus on, especially since everyone knows that the game can take turns for animosity. But you are a shining example of why we do this, and why we all play this game. It's not just blowing up spaceships, which is completely fun and great times, but it's the connections that we make through the game itself, and learning of new people and their stories, and that's basically it, really. I mean, that's the reason I play the game the way I play it, with the same people I've played since beta. It's just for those personal connections that everyone makes, and like I said, you are just a a great example of these connections that are made and why everyone plays the way they play, and then they can rally behind you. Congratulations, Alan, and I hope this. I really do hope the tablet serves you well, and everything else. And then congratulations, man.
That was great, Damon. Thank you. So Alan, how are you feeling, man?
Well, to be honest, I'm shocked because I didn't have anybody that's really nice to me till I met you guys. That's what I came into the QC. Because in my personal life, people always put me down because of my disability and my culture. So it's nice that there's people out there actually do care, and especially when you play with them day in and day out. That makes it really nice.
Of course, man. Anytime. It's honestly a pleasure.
I just wanted to add something to this. So Alan applied to my corp a couple months back, and I normally do an interview in voice because I like to get to know every player that joins our community, be it just my corp or the alliance or even the larger coalition, for example. I want to know who we play with. And when I started talking to him, I put in chat, I'm like, can we do a voice call? So, and without having to explain why, he answered that it's better because he can't really type. So when we got on a voice call, I asked him a question like, why is it that you can't type? How come? Because it was, kind of odd to me that if you're playing, how can you not type? And when he explained me the situation that he's in, it really touched me, because I realized that from his words, he's stuck at home, unfortunately, due to his condition. He cannot leave the house 24 hours a day. He's stuck to a wheelchair. And it made me realize that this game is more than just a game. It's about a community. And to have somebody like that in our community, it's a must. So it didn't take me long to say we have to take him and we have to help him in every way possible through guidance and just the ability to be there for him, to have someone to chat with and get on voice calls or just to play in the game. It's something that's really, it moved me to understanding that this game is so much more. And I'm so happy and proud and for the opportunity to play with someone and make someone's life just slightly better, even for 5 minutes a day that we can get on a call and laugh about something. And the guy has profound knowledge and an incredible sense of pride for his community, for the origins of his family, and he's just a great person to know. So I'm very thankful that I have this opportunity to get to know a person like that through a silly video game on the phone.
All right, so everyone, thank you for coming. Alan, we'll help you figure out what kind of tablet you want, ensure that you know how to work in the GoFundMe to withdraw the gift and all that. But thanks, man. I echo everyone's sentiments and statements here, and I'm sure everyone here does.
I just want to say thank you for everyone that accepted me into with KDB and into this new corporation. I really appreciate it.
Of course. And just so everyone is aware, Light Corporation merged into IMLG, which is what Alan is referring to a few days ago.
So cool. Amazing. Good job, guys.
Of course. Thanks, Beam. All right, thank you all. Talk soon.
I just wanted to give a shout out to the Novum Orda, or Nova Alliance. My alliance, the Rebel Alliance, has been fighting them for the last 2 weeks, and it's been nothing but great fights on both sides. No massive fights to report on, just your basic 30-man versus 30-man fleets, and smaller. But again, I just wanted to give a shout out to Nova Alliance for giving us some great fights throughout the last couple weeks, and looking forward to some more. Last week we ran a story about Cosmic Hawk and the EA. During that interview he had some choice words, and one of the targets of those was J Factor, previously of the QC, now a Happy Bee. He sent in a statement because he feels slandered with those comments. J Factor says, "Cosmic was my friend. But my problem with Cosmic came in when he decided to declare to Sun Banana and the rest of the world that he was going to steal all the QC PvPers, saying things like they would have no choice but to blue us. All the while saying it was my idea in the first place in private conversations that I was not privy to. Did I have thoughts of taking my corp out of the QC? Yes, I did. And in fact, I did do that. But I have no ill will towards them. They are and always will be a close ally. You see, when Cosmic tried to drag my name through the mud like that, my feelings toward him changed, of course. I started calling him out on his BS, and with the passing of my grandmother to COVID-19, it reached a breaking point, and I really laid into him. I called him out in open alliance chat. This actually led to me waking up without an alliance, something Insidious has since apologized to me for profusely. It was a mistake on his part. Cosmic is a ringleader in a circus, and he would do anything to protect his image. That was a quote right from J Factor during a conversation. He just wanted to clear the air, and he felt that his name was basically being dragged through the mud. In big kills this week, we've seen some of the new Tech 9 ships killed, as well as some nice choice kills. We have the Rogue Syndicate taking out one of the first procurers in the game at 794 million, and then following day taking out another one valued at 879 million. Old School claims this 12.8 billion Rattlesnake. And Pew comes in with one of the first Daemonxel kills, valued at 1.3 billion. Now we move on to the solo kills of the week and a shot at a free Omega combo. First, we have this 1 billion Retriever kill by Dark Knight V01. In third place, we have this 3.7 billion Gila kill by Kuya Kim on Space. Second runner-up is this 3.9 billion Interceptor kill by Kreese. And the first runner-up is this Loot Pinata valued at 4.1 billion by Severus. And the top kill of the week is this 13 billion Balgorn. However, I cannot award a NPC and Omega combo, so it is therefore disqualified. The winner this week is Nazbozo with this 5.5 billion Mammoth kill. And the Outpost dropped. I hope you got a haul or all to scoop it up for you. Alright, so hit me up on Discord to receive your prize. Now, if you need more news in your life, be sure to check out our affiliates. Frankie over at Eve Echoes Radio, Rambo at the Echoes of New Eden podcast, and the almost daily stories in written format at the New Eden News. And that's our show. So, for me, have a great week, have a great weekend, fly safe, and remember, we're always one vision, one purpose, one front.